Hello, my astrology friends. This is Lada from astrolada.com. And today my guest is Babylonian ancient astrologer Krasi Attasio, who uses primarily sidereal astrology, which is the actual constellations, and she will lead us through the month of August. I'm always looking forward to your readings, Krasi. Krasi will do a general description of the month using the actual sidereal positions, constellational positions of the planets. And the big thing is Venus going underground and coming back from there. And then she will cover each of the 12 signs. Usually in the comments, we put timestamps so you can check there. So thank you, Krasi. And by the way, Krasi is offering for everyone for the next 2 weeks only a big discount on a personal reading using Babylonian astrology to check your own chart. It's usually 200 and something this reading. Now it's only $140 for the next 2 weeks. You astrology like you've never seen, using the constellations, the mythology behind them, the fixed stars that influence your destiny, and especially visible and invisible planets. Because this month, as Krasi will tell you, we're going to have a lot of invisible planets. And she'll tell you in your personal reading what it means to have invisible planets, remedies, or what it means to have visible, which is usually preferable. But the invisible ones give their own gifts as well. So, hello, Krasi.
Hello, Ada. Hello, everyone. Yes, again, very interesting month. Every month is interesting. Wada, indeed, we will have any moment now 3 invisible planets in Leo. Let's speak first a bit about Venus. Now, maybe everyone speaks about Venus, but Venus will be very, very amazing because from now until 3rd of September, we will see Venus changing her phases. Actually, she will be going from evening star, as she is now, evening star. She will turn invisible. End of the month, 29th of July, Venus is becoming invisible. And then she's becoming a morning star, visible. And now these 3 phases of Venus are very different. And when you have one of the 3 phases of Venus in your horoscope, this is very, very important. And this gives different personal qualities to everyone. Personal qualities which would be related to your love life, your talents, your passion, how you understand and perceive beauty. And of course, it will have to do with love. Now, of course, we all know Venus is retrograde now, and she will be retrograde until 3rd of September. On 5th of August, she enters Cancer, invisible. As I told you, maybe these dates are important for the people because if you are really following this, and if you pay attention to the phases of Venus, to the changes that she will do on the sky, you will see how this influences your life. So anyhow, on the 29th of July, she becomes invisible. On 5th of August, invisible Venus enters Cancer. And on the 13th of August, Venus is making an exact conjunction with the Sun, invisible. She's then very powerful. I'll explain to you how. And immediately after that, after 13th of August, after her invisibility phase, she will be already invisible, but more with the energy of the morning star. And on the 22nd of August, she is visible as a morning star. Now, these dates are important. Now, first, let me tell you. Now, Venus is invisible. She is still in Leo. And as visible, evening star and retrograde, she if we follow the energies of the ancients, in Sumer, this was Inanna. We can look at these energies like incarnations maybe of this energy of Venus. So evening star Venus in Sumer was Inanna. Later on, she would be Ishtar, or in Babylon, this was Inanna from Uruk. you know, and this is a feminine energy, very wise, still very wise, very feminine, very much understanding from beauty. That
the invisible phase of her, or are you talking about the
visible,
Aphrodite?
she is still visible as evening star.
Yeah, so that's the very gentle people that are born with Venus evening star as well. They're usually more artistic, more relational, kind of less impulsive in relationships.
A little bit more passionate in relationships, a little bit also, they would perceive art differently. You know, they would be a little bit more, let's say, into, there is difference between people who are born with morning star Venus, the way they perceive art. Maybe this is very large topic, but anyhow, when she's an evening star, people would be more classical, very different type of art they will, you know, exhibit.
Yeah, more classical beauty, relationships.
Very. Yeah. Yes. So now she's showing these energies, and she's Aphrodite of the Greeks. So, and like I'm telling you, she will appear visible as a morning star on the 22nd of August, but after her conjunction with the sun, she's going towards the change of this energy, which is 13th of August. Now on the 29th, she is becoming invisible again in Leo. And this is very, very interesting. First of all, Venus in Leo is very, very special because in the ancient cuneiform tablets of the Babylonians, she would be seen always with the lion, especially as Inanna from a cat. Anyhow, now she's now on the end of the month, she's becoming invisible, and this is very, very interesting energy. My favorite, Wada, to tell you honestly, because I love her. She is a goddess, feminine energy again. She descends into the netherworld. She's ruling the invisible part of life. She's ruling what we don't see, what remains under the ground. These are the seeds. These are the roots of the trees. She's ruling the destinies of the dead. So who has more wisdom? She's the wisest. She's amazing. Some people relate her to revenge, especially when it comes to love, revenge. She's protective. She's amazing. While invisible, people can make use of her wisdom. She's gorgeous, and she's also very fine, very delicate understanding of love and art. You know, she may give challenges in the love life, especially in masculine horoscopes, but I think not forever. Depends when she becomes visible in the horoscope. And secondly, in the stories, in the Babylonian stories, she met Nergal and they fell in love. You know, their love story is very, very, yeah. So
when she was in the underworld, that's Persephone, god in Greek mythology. Yeah, it's a bit rapey story, but that's intense chemistry. And I've seen, I remember you telling us that in ancient Babylon, invisible Venus was always depicted with a scorpion next to her, which is kind of has Venus in Scorpio energy a little bit. And I've seen a lot of, when Venus becomes invisible in the sky, which it will be now, or when Venus is invisible in the horoscope of someone, they might have experienced more secrets in relationships, more something private about their relationships.
Yes.
And I've seen also secrets come out to the surface when Venus becomes invisible. So let's see. And of course, it's a cult position. If you have Venus invisible when you're born, there's more occult powers there, like Krasi was talking about.
She's a witch. She's very much understanding magic. And before Babylon, she was Ishara, the goddess, which was depicted exactly as you said with the scorpion. So invisible Venus in Scorpio is not weak. She's amazing. And the Babylonian Venus is invisible, is Ereshkigal, the goddess of the netherworld. And then, like I told you, she rises visible on the 22nd of August as a morning star. 22nd of August. If you follow these energies, how they evolve, you absolutely understand the beauty of Venus, and you benefit from these energies. So Venus as a morning star, you see, just in 1 month, she changes 3 phases, and we will be witnessing this beauty. So morning star Venus, this is Athena, Pallas of the Greeks. This is Inanna from Akkad. She's wise. She exhibits more masculine energy. In some texts, Wada, they would directly address her as a male divinity, but not always. She's so decent that you would see her siding with the losing, the ones that are losing the battle. She's amazing. She's protective, and all 3 phases are about money. Even the invisible money, invisible Venus she's not depriving people from finances. You know, she's still related to abundance, but all this in a different way, really in different ways.
Maybe more hidden, private or something.
Yes, exactly. Of course, it depends where she is, in which sign, the aspects and all these details. Then we speak a bit generally so that you can see the energies of August, which start now on the 29th. And before forgetting, yes, she's retrograde. And she's retrograde until 3rd of September indeed. Honestly, Wada, I don't see anything wrong with in the retrograde Venus. Yes, she would make us more melancholic, more desiring to revisit old relationships, to regret some, past relationships. She will maybe remind us of artwork that we
started writing to me. Like the moment it turned retrograde in my 7th, it's like exists from 22 years ago. One from 23 years ago, one from 22. I'm like, no.
By the book, brilliant. Yes, because he's also under the influence of this retro Venus. So, yes, so basically this is, I love her even retrograde. You know, she can make you rethink, revisit art, work that you did before and you didn't finish. She can be just brilliant if you just follow these beautiful energies of Venus. And here comes the interesting conjunction. Now,
what do you think of changing your appearance? Have you had observations if people change their appearance during Venus retrograde, how it comes up?
Like you mean to see physically if people change their appearance? No, really, I never. This is a good idea to
change their wardrobe, change their makeup style, like do something. Would you say that it's okay to do it during retrograde planet?
Why not? I honestly never thought of that. I really never thought of that, but of course, why not? I mean, this is a way to benefit, to refresh yourself, to bring change. Yeah, absolutely.
Different perspective, because Venus is in a different phases, yeah.
Yes, this will have to do with beauty. You would like maybe exactly to revisit old style, like you liked certain styles in the past, and you would, yeah, this is certainly she would have impact on the retrograde Venus on this too. But so now there will be any moment now 3 invisible planets in Leo. The interesting thing is, like I told you, I think Venus in Leo is not weak. She's amazing in Leo. Even as an evening star, she's very passionate in Leo. People are passionate for everything, for life, for art, for, it's and she will meet invisible Mars and invisible Mercury in Leo. She'll be very close to Mars. And this is happening in powerful degrees. She's becoming invisible in the 3rd degree Leo. This is very near Regulus, indeed, the heart of the lion. Fine, the heart of the lion, again, passion. It will have to do exactly with our feelings. This will influence people's feelings a lot. And also, these first 3 degrees of Leo, the ancients describe, if this is in your horoscope, they say, oh, and just the native knows. It's just like you're born with this powerful intuition, very, very powerful degrees. So this is amazing. And Venus is becoming invisible there it will play a role. It will be about the feelings of people, the hearts of people.
Knowing what's in their heart and understand, yeah.
Yes, I think we will have extreme emotions because changing phases around the heart of the lion, especially people with Leo, ascendant moon in Leo, or, this will be very, very interesting. Now,
changes of heart, profound feelings of
yes,
love.
very, very, indeed. Now Mars, Mercury also there. You know what? This I was thinking. Also the lion. It's so much. Always when I see the something very powerful. Also, the first lunar crescent now appeared in Leo. It's emphasis on the lion. Serious emphasis on the lion, on passion, on fires. And unfortunately, again, this summer we see these fires everywhere. And also. I was thinking of this heat. In Europe we have very, very hot summer, extreme. This has to do with that too. And secondly, also,
you're saying that when Mars is invisible, there are more fires and it's hotter.
Because Mars, when invisible, is very unpredictable, highly unpredictable.
So it increases the power of the sun because it's close. So it's not climate change. Good to know.
Well, I was thinking about this. And I think it's natural. Yes, they may benefit, make use of this, but I think it's natural because, first of all, we just spoke with you in our childhood. We remember such heats in Europe. It's not unnatural. Not at all.
Like 40 degrees was normal for us in the summer. So they're making
very
a big deal
normal.
Yeah. But fires, Mars. Yes, it was first COVID. Now it's climate change.
Yes.
Obviously. That's what even the CNN guy that was shot, a hidden camera. He said, well, they told us in 2021, he said, well, they told us when COVID gets too old, we have to start doing all about the climate. So they're given directives. But the ice is hot.
People are not stupid anymore. We know, So yes, I think this will have to do a bit with natural disasters like these extreme fires. Every summer we have fires here and there, but now it's a bit more because Mars. And Mercury is there. Mercury is also having very interesting powers in Leo. And the tree there is our minds, emotions, and yes. And I was thinking, Leo is ruling France. Somehow this will have a serious impact on France. Just came. Well, it comes always in my mind when so much is happening in Leo.
Oh well, look at France. They've been warring on the streets.
It may accelerate now, and also 3 invisible planets. It has to do with, these are energies on fine levels. Apart from the natural disasters, these are fine levels. Could be that these are secretive stuff can take place too, but also things may happen and we will find out later when the planets become visible, for example, or with the next lunar cycle. Because this happens on a subtle level, when 3 planets are invisible in Leo, and we have to pay attention exactly on Leo. And what above, so below, what they say, when something is happening on the sky with the lion, it will happen on Earth with the lion. So literally or not very literally, you know what I mean. And Mars is very long, he is leaving Leo on 20th of August, and he will be then entering, of course, Virgo to stay there until 4th of October. Still invisible in his invisible phase. Very unpredictable is he when he's invisible. Very unpredictable. I don't know who can predict the invisible Mars. It's difficult. Depends on his place in the horoscope, but they would call him the unpredictable planet.
Because of when it goes invisible, he was, let's see what's happening. Because we're usually most afraid of Mars when Mars is retrograde, but Mars Day is the brightest. And yes, indeed, it's a different phase. It's also intense, but the invisible is unpredictable. It's Uranian kind of.
He has one very dangerous phase. I remember during this phase, I made an accident, very bad car accident, when he was in a chronicle rise. very, 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 it was a very strong face. I remember, and you would see him shiny, shiny, shiny on the sky, like literally red. You can say the red planet just with the naked eye. And I remember he was in a chronicle rise, and then he's very sharp. For it's far from this. I just say it because you said retrograde. Indeed, retrograde, and this chronicle rise is very, very, tricky Mars. Well, saying this, a lot is happening in Leo, but we shouldn't forget that Jupiter is making a trine, and this is something because Jupiter is powerful in Aries, and this is the fire trine, and Jupiter is softening all this. It would have been worse if we didn't have Jupiter creating a trine to the 3 planets in Leo, and also Saturn creates opposition to Mars. This increases the danger a little bit, anyhow, Jupiter helps very much, but let's watch how things will play out in August. Jupiter will be, of course, there for long. Sidereal Aries, Jupiter will be until April of 2024, somewhere, I think. So, and we should not forget Jupiter is with Rahu, even stronger influence. Very, very interesting. Very interesting. So let's see, Wada, if you want the 12 ascendants. Again, just to remind, we're looking from both perspectives, sidereal and tropical. So,
and just to remind people, tropical is usually if you're born in the Western world. We have a different, sidereal and tropical, they have the same names, but they're not at the same degrees. So Krasi will say the tropical, everyone who is Western, check your rising sign, your moon sign, if you know it. Well, so there we go.
Yes. Mm-hmm. So we're looking from people who have ascendant Aries. This is sidereal Aries or moon in Aries, or this will be the tropical Taurus. Now for you, you're lucky with Jupiter on your ascendant. Of course, Mars, who rules you, is invisible. This will be the case in August for you. And this is more delicate, can make you more strategic, more planning, but still at times more impulsive. There is an emphasis in your horoscope on the 5th house, house of children. Be a little bit more attentive with children. Of course, this can give you very interesting muse, desire to create artistic talent. So this is very nice. Can give you very strong drive to sports, to study, creative knowledge. So this is very nice, but you're very lucky with Jupiter on your ascendant, a very protective, and Saturn retrograde on your 11th house. Saturn I think you already experienced this, is giving you amazing changes related to your career, finances. This is still the case. Financially, the month doesn't look bad for you. Just be a little bit more attentive to children, and of course, give time to art, to creative knowledge. This would be very, very good for you. Now we look at people who have sidereal ascendant Taurus or moon in Taurus, or if you're looking from the perspective of the modern tropical astrology, this would be Gemini. Now for you, we look, of course, at the first appearance of the moon, because she gives the emphasis. This is for you the 4th house. And the 3 invisible planets that we spoke about are on your 4th house. And 4th house, of course, is your home, parents. It has to do with career, because Saturn and Mars are having opposition. So, of course, you may need to be a little bit more diplomatic, careful at home, with parents, also career-wise. I'm sure that you're experiencing career changes, modifications. So you may need at least until 20th of August to be a little bit more cautious. Also, in terms of health, Jupiter is giving you support, helps you to win over enemies, hidden enemies. So I think that this is fine. Just be a little bit more careful. Be also patient and intuitive in your romantic life. Also the month of August. And now we're looking at people who have sidereal ascendant Gemini or moon in Gemini. or if you're following the modern tropical astrology, this would be Cancer. Now for you, the first appearance of the moon happened on your third house. Your ruler is in the third house, forming this triple conjunction with Mars, Venus, Mercury on your third house. Emphasis on communication, speech, travel, commerce. This is important for August for you. Jupiter makes good aspect from your 11th house. This is blessing on children, supports your finances, social circle. This is fine. But again, watch out a little bit again with this third 9 houses axis. Be a little bit careful when you make decision to travel, to negotiate. You may need to be a little bit diplomatic, a bit more careful. But in general, Jupiter plays very good supportive role. And yes, the importance is travel, communication, commerce for you this month. And now we look at people who have sidereal ascendant Cancer or moon in Cancer, or if you're following the modern tropical astrology, this will be Leo. Now for you, the emphasis of the month somehow is on your second house, money. You have the 3 invisible planets on your second house receiving opposition from Saturn. Now, you see, this is, of course, money will be important. Family roots, family members, relationships with them. Saturn is also making opposition retrograde from your 8th house. So it certainly will have to do with the finances of the partner. Saturn is not really bad, you know, and he's not depriving finances of your partner or finances which you receive from others via unexpected sources or partnership. But you may need to be a little bit careful when you make financial decisions, for example, because, or when you communicate with family members, family roots, because of the invisible phase of Mars, who on one hand can help you to make you very strategic, but can act also impulsively. So be diplomatic, be careful. Jupiter is fine on your 10th house for your career. He gives blessing there. He can help you to create peace or restore the peace. So Jupiter is having this very helpful role. Also for you, on when was this? On 5th of August, the retrograde Venus enters your ascendant. This is good because Venus retrograde invisible, she can give you the muse to create something, to enjoy beauty. And like we spoke with Wada, also to make you interested in changing your dress code, dress style, you know, such pleasurous stuff. And this is after 5th of August. And now we look at people who have sidereal ascendant Leo or moon in Leo. Or if you're following the modern astrology, this would be Virgo. Now see how interesting these 3 planets are happening right on your ascendant. This is intense, I can tell you, very emotional. May give you a little bit of too much of emotions and can bring challenges in your romantic life. So you may need to be a little bit more patient, loving, you know, intuitive with your partner, because this is a situation of a lot. Sometimes we cannot digest all these energies, you know, and this is happening right on your ascendant. Also, of course, at least until Mars leaves, which was when 20th of August, be a little bit careful when you drive, when you plan, let's say, negotiations, be a little bit cautious because, again, this is a bit too much of energies. But again, Jupiter on your 9th house helps you, supports your work, supports your studies, gives you protection. So there are also many good things, just you need to be a little bit more careful during, especially until 20th of August. And now we look at people who have sidereal ascendant Virgo or moon in Virgo, or if you're following the modern tropical astrology, this is Libra. Now for you, this triple conjunction and the appearance of the moon for the first time for the month of August take place in your 12th house. And then you have very active, very serious active axis of the 6th and 12th houses, which of course is related to health, to some, let's say, eventually your routine. You may need to be a bit careful not to have disputes or conflicts in your routine at work. A little bit. You may, during this period of time, especially until 20th of August, you may need to be very diplomatic, more careful, more responsible for your health. On 20th of August, Mars enters your ascendant. And of course, he is in his own, his peregrine, not very powerful in Virgo. On your ascendant, from 20th of August until, when was this? 20th of August, until 4th of October. See, he is in Virgo. You may need to be a little bit more careful when you travel. Make sure you plan things well. When you with your partner, just make sure that you're more diplomatic, more careful, a little bit, you know, to watch out. And now we're looking at people who have sidereal ascendant Libra or moon in Libra, or if you're following the modern tropical astrology, this will be Scorpio. Now for you, first of all, the good thing for you is Jupiter is very helpful, protecting for your romantic life, for partnerships on your 7th house. And this is already quite some months will be so. The triple conjunction and the sign emphasized by the moon is your 11th house. So be a little bit more careful, attentive with children. Also, when it comes to financial decisions, negotiations, friendships, also be diplomatic, more intuitive, because again, this is a lot of, you know, energies which take place on 11th houses related to children, but also your social circle, your gains. So for all this, you may need to be a little bit more careful, because you have also the opposition from Saturn. On the other hand, Saturn is benevolent, and when retrograde, certainly he's helping you to revisit knowledge, study, creative activity. So this is fine. And let's look now at people who have sidereal ascendant Scorpio or moon in Scorpio, or if you're following the modern tropical astrology, this will be Sagittarius. Now for you, the emphasis is on career place, highest goals, also home, you know, because Leo Aquarius axis. Yes, this energy of a triple conjunction on your 10th house can be good, because this can make you very driven to certain goal, can give you this very fine influence, you know, for new projects, for new activities, you know, but still Saturn makes opposition, and you may need to balance these energies, to be a little bit more diplomatic, more careful when you communicate with superiors about, let's say, your plans, your desires, decisions. Be a little bit more balanced. Make sure that you choose the right moment, you know, more harmonious a moment for discussion, for negotiations. This is one thing. Jupiter gives good trine, so you may have support from your routine environment, for people who share your routine, who work for you. And Jupiter is supporting your health, so this is fine. And be a little bit more careful and patient, attentive with your partner. And now let's see people who have sidereal ascendant Sagittarius or moon in Sagittarius, or if you're looking from the perspective of the modern tropical astrology, this is Capricorn. Now the emphasis of this month and the important axis is the axis of the 9th, 3rd houses. Communication with people abroad, to travel, studies, all this. And actually, when you travel, be a little bit more careful. Make sure you choose right date for your travel. Also, when you negotiate, when you do commercial activity, this conjunction can be even benevolent financially. This will not deprive you from finances, but be sure that you balance things well, that you're very diplomatic, that you review every single detail when you negotiate, when you communicate with people, also when you prepare your travel, or when you choose study or philosophy, because this house is being emphasized on. Jupiter from your fifth house makes very good aspects, blesses your children, supports your pleasure, your talented work, your studies, and so on. And now we look at people who have sidereal ascendant Capricorn or moon in Capricorn, or if you're following the modern tropical astrology, this would be Aquarius. Now Saturn is not anymore for a long time on your ascendant. He is now on your second house, and the axis of second 8 houses is emphasized. So this axis is not bad and not harming your finances. It can be even very interesting for the finances of the partner, or finances that you receive via partnerships or unexpected sources like insurances or so. But still, you may need to be careful how you make your financial decisions, how you negotiate. You may need to be very diplomatic. But Jupiter makes good aspect from your fourth house. He gives support of your home, parents, even career. Even he gives aspect to the seventh house of your relationship. So this is fine. But Saturn, anyhow, your ascendant ruler on your second house until 2025 is showing importance of finances, family roots. So this is very important. And now we look at people who have sidereal ascendant Aquarius or moon in Aquarius, or if you're following the modern tropical astrology, this is Pisces. Now for you, Saturn is on your ascendant, and we have your seventh house activated with the appearance of the moon, and because of this triple conjunction of Mars, invisible Mercury, and Venus. This way, this axis, you, yourself, your ascendant, and your partner becomes very vulnerable, very emotional. This is not bad, and especially if you manage to balance these energies, because it's a little bit too much. So you may need to be careful. You may need really to be diplomatic, to be careful, to be intuitive, and really to balance the energies between yourself and your partner, our partnerships in general. Also, when it comes to negotiations, partnerships of any type, this is also very important to be careful, in harmony, and to balance these energies, like I said. Jupiter supports this from your third house, supports study, travel, negotiations, trade, even commercial activities, knowledge, study. So this is very good. Be careful, especially until 20th of August, a little bit, be more diplomatic and careful. Also, when you travel, make sure that you're more careful, especially until 20th of August. And now we look at people who have last ascendant Pisces. And for you, these interesting energies are taking place on the axis of your 6th, 12th houses, especially emphasized is the 6th house, which shows that you may need to watch out a bit to be diplomatic in your routine environment with people who share your routine. Too many things may occur there, too much of emotions, and also you may need to be more responsible for your health, to make sure that you're not participating in any disputes or arguments during this period, especially until 20th of August, but even after that, because after 20th of August, Mars is entering your 7th house, and then you may need to be a little bit more patient and loving with your partner. So make sure you're responsible for your health, make sure you're patient, you're diplomatic with people that you work with or that work for you in particular. But Jupiter, yes, he gives good aspect from your 2nd house, from where he's supporting your finances. So these are the main things, for the month of August. Very interesting triple conjunction. Let's see how this how this will manifest for each one of us. But the main thing is to know that astrology is really giving us the indication, but we are very powerful to create our own reality, because we are also creators. We are children of the Creator. Yes. So, Wada?
Yes, I'm here. I was listening to you. Thank you so much, Krasi, for enlightening us through sidereal astrology and tropical as well. And again, I'm repeating, if anyone wants a reading with Krasi, she's doing natal chart through Babylonian astrology, where she looks very different things for you. It's like your invisible planets, your visible remedies for that, the fixed stars, the constellations. It's 45 minutes. And it's down from $200 to $140 now for the next 2 weeks. I've put a link below in the description if you want to contact Krasi. Thank you, Krasi, for your contribution. And have an interesting August. August is burning on fire. All planets are next to the sun.
Yeah.
There is secrets, there is invisible things, unpredictable things, but it sounds like it's going to be fun.
Yes. Yes.
Thank you.
All the best, everyone. Thank you.